welcome to my channel Arts and Craft with Raquel. On this episode, you'll learn how to knit, the practical aspect of knitting. You need 2 knitting needles, yarn or wool, and a pair of scissors for the project. There are other tools that can be used, but if you have these 3, you are good to go. You can start up your knitting project. The first thing to do is to make a slip knot. Wrap the yarn over your 2 fingers. Make sure that the beginning of the yarn is face down to enable you form the loop correctly. Then wrap the yarn around your 2 fingers. Then wrap it again to form an X. Then with a finger pick up the back yarn to form the slip knot. To confirm that you tie the knot correctly, insert the knitting needle into the knot and pull part of the yarn that is attached to the yarn skein or the yarn ball. Do not pull the shorter part. Then as you pull, the knot will get tightened. The cast on is for creating the foundational row of stitches for the piece of knitted artwork you are working on. There are several methods of casting on. Whichever works for you can be adopted. For the first method of cast on, hold the knitting needle attached to the slip knot on your left hand and use your right hand to form loops. The loops you form should be casted on the needle, just as shown in this video. The amount of loops to be casted depends on the width of your artwork. So you cast as many as possible depending on the width or the wideness of your artwork. For the second method of cast on, hold the knitting needle attached to the knot on your right hand and use your left hand to hold the piece of yarn attached to the yarn ball. Then use your thumb to form loops, just as shown. Use your thumb to form loops. Then you cast the loops formed, cast it on the knitting needles. Or you can decide to use your left hand to form loops that will be casted. So you form loops just like the one we did for the first method. There are 2 basic knitting stitches, the knit stitch and the purl stitch. So the first one is the knit stitch. Insert the second needle. Insert the second needle through the back of the first loop. The first loop. Insert the second needle through the back and form what looks like an X. Make sure the needle is at the bottom. Then the next step is to take the yarn attached to your yarn ball or your yarn skein and wrap it around the second needle as shown in this video. Wrap it around. Then you push the second needle to the front of the loop. Then slip off the first loop. Slip off the first loop. Once you slip off the first loop, it's as if you are transferring the loop to the second needle. So you can do that over and over again. Insert the second needle inside the next loop, then yarn over, then pull through, then you slip off that loop. You can do that over and over again. The knit stitch will form a V shape after knitting, just as shown in this picture. The second basic stitch is the purl stitch. Insert the second needle through the front and not the back loop on the first needle and form what looks like an X. Make sure the needle is on top and also ensure that the yarn attached to the yarn ball is on top of the second needle. Then the next thing you do is to yarn over, take the yarn attached to the yarn ball and wrap it around the second needle. Then push the second needle to the back. Once you've done that, you slip the loop off the first needle. Insert the needle through the front, yarn over, then push it to the back, then slip off that loop. It's as if you are transferring the loop to the second needle. yarn over, push it to the back, slip off that loop, insert it through the front, yarn over, push it to the back, then slip off that loop. You can do that over and over again till you finish up that row. The purl stitch forms a wavy horizontal line as shown in this picture. Take note of this. The back side of a purl stitch is a knit stitch and the back side of a knit stitch is a purl stitch. So when you knit, you purl automatically and vice versa. Thanks for learning with me. Subscribe to my channel for more art and craft videos.